It was the Christmas season, and the air was buzzing with excitement. Well, everywhere except at Mr. Mullins' house. You see, Mr. Mullins, known throughout the neighborhood as Mean Man Mullins, was notorious for his anger and his temper. At 80 years old, the man never smiled and always yelled at anyone who dared to get too close to his lawn. And forget about Christmas carolers, he'd chase them off with threats and insults. Everyone steered clear of him, but this year, Rocky and Jose had a plan. Corinne, Rocky's little sister, was at home passing her brother's room when she saw Rocky and his friend Jose on the floor laughing so hard they were coughing. "Wow, what's so funny?" asked Corinne. "We're gonna go sing Christmas carols at Mean Man Mullins' house," Rocky grinned, a mischievous sparkle in his eye. "He's gonna lose it. It'll be hilarious, man," Jose nodded. "Yeah, and we're gonna post it on YouTube. It's gonna go viral for sure." "But he's like, really mean," Corinne said. "I don't think this is a good idea. He'll just kick you off his lawn. He may even chase you. He's been known to do that." Rocky laughed even harder. "We know," he said. "That's the best part. That's why we need you to film it for us. Once we post it, everyone's gonna die laughing. You in?" Corinne sighed, knowing that once Rocky had an idea, there was no changing his mind. "Fine," she reluctantly agreed. The plan was set. The trio set off to Mr. Mullins' house, but when they arrived, something was off. Instead of the usual barking and yelling, there was an ambulance parked in the driveway. The kids froze. What was going on? "Mrs. Mullins!" Corinne called out, running up to the porch as the ambulance pulled away. "What happened?" Mrs. Mullins' eyes were red, her face somber. "Mr. Mullins passed away in his sleep last night," she said quietly, looking at the kids with sad eyes. It's been a tough time." The kids were stunned. "Mr. Mullins, dead?" Mrs. Mullins, seeing their shock, invited them in. "You kids want to come inside?" She spoke so quietly. "I think it's time you learned a little more about your Mean Man Mullins." The kids stepped inside, shocked to be in Mr. Mullins' house. They saw pictures of him on the walls from when he was a young man. Mean Man Mullins had been yelling at them all their lives, but somehow they felt sad and missed him. Mrs. Mullins began telling them stories they'd never heard before. Stories of Mr. Mullins as a young man, how he used to be a jokester, always laughing, and how he'd helped his neighbors in ways no one ever knew. "He always tried to be kind," Mrs. Mullins said softly, "but life, it was hard on him. He never could get the happiness back after things went wrong for him." "Wait," Rocky said in confusion, "but he always yelled at us. Every Christmas, he'd scream at the carolers." Mrs. Mullins nodded. "He hated Christmas, but he wanted to love it. He just didn't know how anymore. Before he died, he was planning a big surprise for the neighborhood kids. He wanted to make up for everything." Rocky and Jose's eyes widened as they realized what they'd almost done. Suddenly, the joke wasn't funny anymore. The prank, the viral video, it all felt so wrong. They realized they had been so focused on getting likes and laughs that they missed the humanity behind the mean man. They had been wrong to think that pranking him would be funny when, deep down, he had tried to make the world a better place in his own way. As they left the Mullins house, a deep shame settled over them. "We never gave him a chance," said Jose. They'd all learned a valuable lesson that night. You never know what someone is going through. Before you judge or make someone the butt of a joke, think twice. Kindness always wins. And as for Rocky and Jose, they decided that next Christmas, they'd find a way to spread joy. Not by pranking people, but by helping them instead.